finish off EG first. They have pretty similar lineup to what they had in the previous one. They needed to make a little bit of an adjustment, considering they are playing against Anti-Mage. It's a good carry-to-carry matchup for Terrorblade, being able to burn Anti-Mage's mana. One of the heroes that has high armor can easily stand, I'd say, like even inside the Puck ulti once he gets to that like 2-3 item timing. And they're playing the same heroes again. I think, like last game, they had a lot of issues when they were facing Enchantress and Tiny on the safe lane with the same two heroes. I think this game is going to be even harder. Like, this is how you counter Sanking. This is why Anti-Mage was banned in the previous game. You just burn mana, and then Sanking can't really do anything. You go in level 1, play aggressive, burn mana, use a healing salve, and then just make him useless.
We'll have to see if that all goes according to your plan, like you said. Definitely makes sense. They start off with a nice burrow strike right off the bat. Crit taking a lot of damage here. That tag team, you know, it's doing work, but it's still going to be the first blood going over.
The miss uphill.
And they didn't get crit. Oh, and it looks like they're going in for a little bit more here. VGod having to be a bit careful. But the tips are out. Jerax putting out a little bit more damage. That's a pretty good start for EG, I'd have to say.
A great start for EG, and that miss uphill. I mean, it's very hard to fight into tag team. That's probably one of the best abilities when there's like 3-4 heroes that grouped around. Maybe Keeper of the Light is a better one with the Illuminate, but other than that, like this is one of the best one. I'm a little worried about the Scourge McDuck in this matchup. I'm not sure how much farm he's going to be able to get, like the double slow coming out from Viper once they get to level 2. This TB, I mean, we talked about how carry-to-carry matchup is good for TB, but I'm worried how he's going to get there. Like, he might be forced out of the lane very early on.
I mean, this is one of the heroes, though, that typically in the past, it's okay if they end up having to, you know, force him out of the lane, but they will end up following, right? We'll just continue to try to disrupt all of that farming. Overloam taking so much damage here. It's going to be all right, but definitely going to be burning through that regen.
Oh, Jerax top lane needs to be very careful. Also, because Shukuchi is now 15-second cooldown ability level 1 instead of the previous 12, so you can't use that aggressively. So far, they did a very good job getting level 2. They didn't get zoned out on the top lane at all. Sanking got level 2, and now they start playing a bit more aggressive.
Now talk to me about the, you know, we've been seeing a lot of this Death Prophet. It's been getting picked up fairly early in a lot of these games. You know, how much of an advantage is it going to give them having this particular hero because she is so versatile with what she does?
Like the silence, the value coming out from the silence is going to be big, and also pairing up Death Prophet with TB, allowing you to go in and either take Roshan early on or take the towers is going to be pretty big.
Mm-hmm.
So Kits will be able to pick up the Water Rune on bottom lane, and yeah, against this matchup you need to max out the Crypt Swarm instead of going for the Spirit Siphon, because Puck is very elusive, and Puck was also off to a really good start. He got the first blood money.
It definitely feels like we've got a lot of kind of, I don't want to say an adjustment coming out from EG, but some of those more comfortable picks, right? Like, because Crit's very well known. Ooh, staying a little bit low up there on the top lane with Arteezy. But, you know, the Abed Puck, obviously, you know, one of those heroes that definitely he shines on, Crit's Tusk and whatnot. Seeing a lot of kind of these more comfortable picks.
Oh yeah, they definitely look deep inside the bag, like check what's good, what they had really... They wanted to play something that they know how to play. Like coming into this matchup, they probably thought this is going to be an easy one, but the cut, they played amazing. The way, the aggressiveness, like the map reading was top tier. And yeah, this Scourge McDuck in a lot of trouble.
Ooh, right underneath his own
dead.
tower too. That feels real bad.
What's gonna happen is he's gonna come to bottom lane, die one more time, and then go to jungle.
Okay, all right. Overloam trying the best that he can to try to just get off those spells, realizing he is eventually falling, but trying to be as value as possible. But yeah, does that imply that EG is a little shook that they're kind of falling back on these heroes that they're most comfortable on?
I mean, that's what you have to do. Considering the situation, just like you don't feel you can't lose this one. Like you don't want to repeat what happened at the start of the previous tour. And they have Urn on the... He uses that Urn on himself, and he will crit, bringing just the boots of speed. But like, there's no turnaround play. There is Nightmare, but I don't think that's gonna save Terrorblade, and he needs to be very careful. I'd even say that it's time to get out of this lane, because he's not getting anything. He has 11 CS compared to Viper's 15 and 10 denies.
Oh, this top lane is a bloodbath, but we'll have to go take off that bug, not fast enough. And there is a sentry placed over here, so 8 has to be careful because I don't think he recognizes this, though he's very aware of it now. Look at the sentry coverage coming out here. That is a kill for Arteezy. You've got sentries to your left all the way down there.
And this is a solo kill, I mean solo XP, which brings Arteezy closer to level 6. He's gonna bring items to him. That's gonna be almost full power treads, and Arteezy with Ring of Health sitting underneath the tower should be pretty fine. Jarex even uses the healing salve just to get him back to full HP, because right now the Cut wants to play aggressive. They will use their mana and try to get some damage down on Anti-Mage. They can burst him down from 100 to 0, that's why he used the healing salve. Let's see what Scourge McDuck can do on this bottom lane now.
Be interesting to see too if Abed decides he wants to get a little bit aggressive. Of course, this is the difficult thing when you're faced up against Death Prophet, who also has the 6 if Abed makes this rotation. In fact, they're going to send Crit over. I was going to ask if this was going to be the play here. So they use the Exorcism. A little bit surprised on this, but Abed does have to be careful. As they get a decent amount of damage, a little bit more hits. One more hit will actually do the trick for Abed if they can just close the gap.
Abed's
and they
fine.
get it?
He's out.
No, he's out. That Crypt Swarm, though, came a little close, I think.
Surprised the first Crypt Swarm did not connect. It looked like it's gonna, but it felt like just a little bit off the mark. Jarex trying to deny himself, and
yeah, he gets it.
he will, but he will be dead for 25, and Overlom actually gets Abed.
Was he just getting too greedy? Was he looking for like a rune or something?
I was watching Jarex.
Yeah, oh my goodness. Some of these errors coming out, very costly. This does, of course, now they have a Cardi wave. They'll be able to put pressure over onto the mid. No more Exorcism, obviously, because they've used it, but...
This is good. This is really good for Scourge McDuck, because he was getting some solo levels, because once Tusk leaves, he knows that he doesn't have to worry about the Viper solo killing him, so... well, let's see. Let's see. He's inside. He's very dead.
Well, no tag team needed.
I thought he's going to TP like straight away once he gets the 2 charges. Maybe he was thinking there's going to be a Nightmare save immediately. Just a false sense of security.
I guess maybe just having that +1 made him think that he had
that he feels safe.
I'll take your treat.
So yeah, 2 deaths on this Terrorblade. Always standing in terms of net worth. 2,300 on him, 3,200 on Anti-Mage, so already a big difference.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
He seems to be doing a decent amount of time though here. Does have some nice CS. Still existing in the lane pretty well. Not exactly, you know, going to be super aggressive against Arteezy, right? Because this is an anti-mage. It's pretty hard to lock down. But the pressure is on over in that mid lane for sure.
Is under attack.
You can see that there's quite a few bodies kind of perched over to the side. In fact, Jerax does get spotted again. They do have a sentry down, but yeah, and he immediately pings that out. Feels like they probably want to keep some tabs on Scourge here.
There is already a deep ward placed by Jerax, which is going to scout out where Terrorblade is farming, so if they bring Puck +1, this Terrorblade dies.
I hear a Dream Coil, and I see Overloam is got the Nightmare out over on Jerax. He's going to try to buy a bit more time, but these plinks coming in from Abed should be able to clean up over onto the Bane. I'm going to go for the Exorcism play over onto Abed. They don't have anything to cancel out the TP. Do they have the damage? Yes, they do.
That was
and they
barely got that kill. And this is big, because they're now going to take the tier 1 tower as well.
They did end up losing Scourge, though, again. So, a little bit of a bright side here for EG.
Oh, Nightfall managed to kill him.
Yeah, he seems to be chasing him around this time.
Yeah, this should reveal the ward and should be dewarded, and yeah, someone's figuring it out.
Just a nice little TP right back to the tower. They'll continue to put that pressure on the mid lane. They do have a couple heroes, though, from EG over by it. They don't want to give it away freely. 8 does have to be careful. Jerax and Nightfall are here, and they have a sentry ward. And as Burrow strike forward, tries to buy himself some more time, get underneath the tower. Looks like he's going to be all right, unless they go for a deep dive. It feels like they're going to go for it, though. 8 not looking healthy. Doesn't really have that many stick charges, so will fall as B-God hides off to the side. Oh, uh-oh. Hello. And we're only level 4 on B-God, so this is not looking good for him.
Yeah, it's the same thing when you tried to kill Huskar when, like, before he had the magic resistance on his passive. He still has it in this patch as well, but, like, you show up as, like, level 4, Huskar level 10, and you're, like, trying to kill him. You're like, what the hell am I doing? I mean, he TP'd, tried to not get found, in the end got found, and yeah, Nightfall again, on top of the net worth.
But is it going to be enough? I mean, you do have pretty neck and neck for a lot of these net worths here, coming out from both teams. But we saw, you know, Nightfall had honestly a monster game, it felt like, in the first one, and it just wasn't quite enough to give EG that edge that they needed. And I mean, it's a Viper.
Viper can scale. If he goes for itemization, this is just going to be Urn of Shadows. I'll hold that thought.
Yeah, hold that thought for just 1 second. Again, they have these sentries in place, but the response coming in now. So still not looking great for Sand King. He's broken. He's got too much Nether Toxin all over him. So they'll end up losing Jerax, but they'll lose Aid. So there's not going to be that epicenter available over Loam. Looking at any potential grabs he could get here, but they're happy with this little hit squad, and Scourge continues to hit creeps, but so does Zartizi.
Now, to go back to Viper's itemization, going for Urn just to have a little bit of extra mana regen, having a bit of extra overtime damage is great. And now getting the Dragon Lance, and probably going to be a BKB later on. I mean, it's a good BKB game, but there's also like 1-2 abilities that he like doesn't have to be worried about, has to be worried about when he has a BKB on, but we'll have to see. Like, he can disassemble the Dragonlance, get a BKB, and just be able, like, to scale. Because Nightfall, he loves to farm. He's an X-carry player. We've seen him in a previous game that he tends to get a lot of farm out of the map. And but on the other side, the cut, getting this tier 1 tower, which is gonna open up another area of the map, still a bit worried for them, because AM still free farming.
Kid's going for that exorcism right away. They're going to try to channel up with the epicenter. Can they get enough damage down? Overload holding on to the side. They manage to go take down Abed. They'll lose Aid. There's going to be the Nightmare tossed out over here onto the Weaver. Scourge joining into the fight here. They get the silence off. They need a little bit more damage, and they don't quite have it. So Jerax going to be allowed to live this time around as Nightfall starts stacking up that poison attack. But that is a Blink Dagger now completed for Aid on the Sand King, which will be very beneficial in the coming fights.
Yeah, that's going to be big. Looked like a big epicenter, and he got slowed down a bit too much. Jerax didn't get a kill there on a courier.
Oh boy.
AM, Battle Fury done, 12 minutes in, on top of the power treads. He's not joining any fights unless like the fights are brought next to him, and all he wants to do is continue farming, maybe use 1 mana void on Skyrat Mage, maybe that profit and get the health back to jungle and continue farming, because he still doesn't feel like too comfortable just joining, and there's no really point because EG's holding strong with the 4 heroes that they got.
Where's the whole village here?
Smoke play over here on the side of Cut. Jerax placing his body very forward. Over Loam, though, he was trying to just get some time to himself underneath that tier 1, but will end up falling from the aggression. But as I say this, Abed also sitting very low. That's another kill. Very nice stacking of these disables coming out from the side of the Cut. It's a little bit surprising there as Jerax creeping forward. He's going to walk into a couple of these heroes. Give a little bit of a chase. You have to be careful. The silence coming out from B-God is very, very powerful. In fact, Jerax, now they have the dust. Skippy time lapse goes right backwards again, but they have the silence. Lots of nukes headed their way over here towards Jerax. It's not quite enough though, as they do manage to get the kill on the courier.
Has 10 magic wand charges.
He
This is
gotta
gonna
make
continue
it.
chasing him. Use another one. Do the I think he's gonna be able to outrun it.
Oh,
Okay.
you didn't account for the Sand Kings there. I didn't either. And I don't think he did either. That was quite the chase, though.
A lot of time wasted, a lot of time that takes the pressure of possible smoke ganks onto anti-mage. This is position 5 Weaver. This is what the Weaver does well. If he manages to survive there, like, it would have been even better, but yeah, it's still not a W for Cut by any means.
And they're still struggling to get their Terrorblade up there in terms of net worth. But has had a little bit of time to kind of, you know, go and just hit creeps. Not be bothered too badly. I like the fact that Overloam and BGod are making these moves together, although Crit making their way over with Nightfall. It's going to be the snowball immediately with the shards. They'll go for the exorcism, and they just immediately blow up Crit. Look at this. Very nice Bean Scrub, plus that Mystic Lair like we talked about. It does so much damage. That is a godlike kill streak that's going over to Kits.
He got 1,000 gold from this fight. This is huge. This is gigantic. And also, what we said about Anti-Mage, that also means that Terrorblade is also going to be able to farm up. That profit, Yule's going to be completed. Terrorblade wants to join fights early on. Like, they want to be able to take the towers, so he has BKB queued up. I don't mind that, and because they have no abilities that go through like magic immunity that he's really afraid of. Once he gets the BKB, there is, you know, Viper Strike, there is Tusk Punch, but he can still stand strong. His next item should probably be like Scotty, and then he's gonna feel like be a bit too tanky. Doesn't care too much about AM. AM's gonna have a hard time just jumping onto the Terrorblade. Needs to save the Manta style to get rid of the reflection, but there can be like silence from either Skywrath Mage or Dead Prophet. So for now, Arteezy just continues to farm up, which I think is the correct choice. Just be in the jungle, stay away from any kind of fights.
I don't feel like he has much of a choice in general, right? With just the way that they're playing the aggression and what they can bring currently.
Yeah, when I say that he should stay, I mean the rest of the team should play without him. Viper, BKB done, disassemble the Dragonlance, 16 minutes in. That's big. And they know the EXO is down, so they are seeking for a fight right
Yeah,
now.
look at this. Kit's just kind of dancing around a little bit. Does have the Yules available. Silence followed up here with the Sand King and the Epi to do a lot of damage. Not quite enough though to take down Nightfall as they get the Dream Coil down. Crit looking for the opening, but they have a lot of damage. They're all just taking a bath in the middle of this Nether Toxin. Crit somehow still alive, and eventually will fall. 8 already going down. They've got a bit of the hunt down. We do have Arteezy joining into the fight. He'll get the kill. As they'll chase after Overloam, they got the kill on top of that. They still have the vision. Abed, though, is he going to be able to survive? Is he going to be able to do it? No, they finally close the gap on him, but they'll get the kill on BGod to boot.
It was a good attempt from the Cut there, because Sanking was already, that's what we do. That's what Sanking players do. Just keep using that epicenter from the fog in case someone shows up. You release it immediately, and they try to get a jump on Viper. Almost managed to bring him down, but with the BKB and 4 points in Corrosive Skin, he's a bit too tanky, but still a decent trade, I would say, considering everything. And yeah, Arteezy shows up, uses Mana Void, gets the hell out, continues farming. Because you've seen, like, just the damage coming out from one reflection is what he's afraid of.
Does seem very powerful, but the Cut is ready to go back in now. They realize that...
Radiant's courier has been
Oh,
killed.
8's Courier does get picked off. That smoke breaking, it's going to be Crit, and again, the silence, very powerful with these nukes. So
Where's the whole village here?
now you see him, now you don't.
Pretty much. This ward that he just planted is gonna get devorted. They had Sentry and Obs there.
See Jerax trying to just be obnoxious. Try to mess with Scourge a bit. See, still is not sitting anywhere towards that top. Still 10k net worth lead over on Arteezy. He's farming up quite the storm. Of course, it is a little bit easier when you have a Battle Fury.
Terrorblade's catching up nicely.
Is under attack.
Decided to go for Manta style first. Philosopher's Stone, drop for EG. I feel like every single time I watch EG play, Philosopher's Stone just casually drops for them.
Ah, such a good item. Definitely one of my favorites as a support player. I actually feel like I'm useful.
Oh,
when I
for
get
sure.
it.
This is my item, pretty much. That and Tome of Knowledge. These
Oh,
are
yeah.
my 2 favorite items in the game.
Thank God somebody thought of the support players. Right, EG clinging together pretty tightly over here towards this mid lane. Scourge continuing to farm up, getting closer and closer though now.
Dire are scanning.
I'm interested to see what the next play is, where they decide to move. And they've been holding on to this middle area for quite a while. Just have not been able to crack the middle tower completely.
Go.
God, look at that. Oh, the immediate follow-up. Are they going to be able to burst down? Nah. Looks like, at the last second, yes, they'll be able to get Jarek. BGod, though, and Aid will fall. Overloom will be the next one. They go and they use the Exorcism. BKB getting popped over onto Nightfall. They use Mana Void over onto Kids. Kids having to back off a little bit.
Dire's
A pretty big one for EG, the fact that they popped the Exo and didn't really get much done with it.
Not only Jarek's died, and they got the Exo, so great trade. They also got the buyback
Radiant's middle tower is under
from Aid and also buyback from BGod. This is what they've been using in the previous game, but they should be much more careful about this one. Because they do have Tusk, and if EG takes a fight right now, they can easily transition that into Roche. Oh, this mini stun.
DP's coming out now. They really want to protect this tower. They're not willing to give it up without a fight. Again, the Exo is down, though. They have to be careful. See Nightfall trying to chip away over here at the tower. They can't quite get that denial off, so it is going to eventually fall. A little bit of a nightmare tossed off over onto Nightfall. Again, he's tanky, though. You have to be careful of that. They'll turn their attention over onto Crit.
Silent,
and over on the
FP.
back lines, Terax, he will be the first one to fall. The epicenter getting dropped, and they also dropped the Dream Coil. Have to be careful, though, with that Nether Toxin. Yule's coming into play. Buy just a little bit more time, but they have too much damage. Aid will be the next one to fall. Crit it will fall as well as Abed keeps trying to dance around, poking and prodding over here at Kids. But Nightfall is getting chased after by Scourge over on the back lines. They do have to be careful. They've got Spirit Sight
He's out of
and
mana.
Silence. They'll get the kill on Scourge. As the rest of the team, they continue to chase. They want this kill on the Death Prophet. They're cutting her off. She gets the Crypt Swarm, but it's not going to be enough here. Overlord getting into position here. Gets the signs. They turn it back around. They get the kill on Abed. BGod now getting clicked down. And there's a little bit of a sleepy time here for Ortiz as he does get nightmared. And the rest of the side of the cut just flee.
Yeah, still huge losses there for the cut. Terrorblade not able to get the Sunder off. His mana got burned. He overextended a little bit. And yeah, Sanking, like, Puck is doing a very good job. Every single time Sanking goes in, he uses Coil immediately on him, so he can't use the Burrow Strike and gets taken down. Also, there was no Exorcism in that fight. Once they get the BKBs on both cores of Cut, it's going to be much, much easier for them to fight.
Was that the right call? Like, you know that the Exo's down because they already used it in the earlier fight. Should they have tried to take this without it, or was it just because the opportunity seemed to present itself? Like,
I mean, they needed an extra lockdown, I think, on Tusk to be able to kill him immediately. He causes a lot of issues if he gets the snowball off. A lot of time is wasted, but they were kind of split in that fight. We saw them killing Jarex in the back lines. Also, was that like Viper or Sniper, considering the attack
He's so far
range?
away, right?
Yeah, he has Grobo, and he has a full Hurricane Pike now.
he was just chipping away over on the towers. Oh, well, there's the Viper, but the BKB comes out. Aid has to be careful. This time they do have the Exo, but they have so much burst damage. Oh my goodness. They just take out Overlum almost instantly. Aid also falling. That Yule's getting used here by this Death Prophet, but they just have too much damage. So that is an Exo down. That is 3 heroes down on the side of the cut. And they have an Aegis online for Arteezy.
Yeah,
when did that happen? Was that during the
I mean, with during
replay?
the replay when they had Tusk available
Yeah.
and
Oh my
Anti-Mage, like the tag team is just too strong.
Fast.
And I like this. AM with Aghanim Scepter gives you Blink Fragment, so you have 3 charges on the illusions that last for 7 seconds. This is pretty damn good for fighting.
My thanks to
Radiant's
thee.
top tower is under attack.
It's always fun when a hero can hit the tower from outside the view of your camera. Seems good. All right, well, 10K net worth lead this time. You know, EG feeling a lot more confident, I have a
Radiant's
feeling,
top
but
tower is under attack. Radiant's top tower.
Yeah, this one's definitely, I'm gonna say, in the bag. Things are slowly getting out of control for the cut, but I feel like they need to do something. They have one BKB online on Terrorblade, one BKB about to be done on Dead Prophet. Age is still up and running for 3 minutes. Dire using scan. They knew someone was there and they immediately smoke.
you're going to run into
Overlong,
Overlong.
he wants to die. He wants to be able to break the smoke.
This is the guy you want to die. I mean, if he doesn't have to die, it's even better. But nah, I bet he's hungry. He wants the Bane. Although, oh no, they might turn this back around. The snowball coming through from Crit gets the punch off. They'll be able to blow up Kits almost instantly. My goodness. That is the BKB completed, though. B-God running for his life. Doesn't want to let Arteezy touch his little wings here. But Arteezy, he's not going to let him get away. He's hoping maybe he can get the dial. No. The Golems will not allow it. An aid here in the top lane. They have the vision. Jarek's already in position having that sentry. Gonna just get the Yules, try to buy a bit more time, gets the Burrow Strike off. Is he gonna be able to get out in time? It's too much. No, they get the Dream Coil. They go and just make sure that that Sand King is going home in a body bag.
Getting kills all over the place. Anti-Mage is getting out of control. Pretty much the perfect game so far from Arteezy. 0 deaths, going Scotty next. When you go for this Aghanim Scepter, you do consume a lot of mana. And yeah, I like the adjustment that they did, you know, especially against Skywrath Mage and Sand King. Having that Anti-Mage being able to use like the counter spell, so these two heroes are never gonna feel too comfortable coming into the fight. And he was off to a really good start. Continued to farm up, rest of the team taking off the pressure off of him, and now it's time to hit the high ground, especially with Viper having that shard.
Discipline, guys.
I like that one. I like that voice line.
It's fine. This was a nuisance.
Tell me that I don't
Tower
feel,
is
but I
under
feel.
attack.
But yeah, we do have like those BKBs that are coming online now. I'm just finding the right angle, but you know, this feels like a reversal of the first game with the amount of aggression that we saw coming out from the cut. They feel a lot more subdued. And again, a lot of that has to do with the fact Terrorblade had a little bit of a difficult time during his own laning. And they played this very, very well on the side of EG.
But they really did. I mean, they completely shut down TB. Ooh, if they can get Scourge McDuck. They can't. He's a bit too speedy. So this will be fine. Overlom dying one more time.
Tower is under attack.
He still manages to get this Ether Lance, even though he has a lot of deaths. So very impressive, I would say. You know, playing Bane and get like 20-25 minute Ether Lance on Bane is pretty damn good.
I mean, he was impressive in the first game. Both he and B-God on these heroes. Very, very in control of what they're doing generally, so. It's a little bit more difficult when they are behind. But we do the Blink Dagger picked up now for Crit. Kits has to be very, very careful. I feel like the positioning of this Death Prophet has been very, very forward, and it's very scary to be this forward, but I guess who else are you really gonna send, right? Maybe send the Sand King, try to get these openings. In fact, that's exactly what we're doing, but this Nether Toxin is proving to be very difficult to have to deal with the big AoE. That is the tower down, though. Now the cut. Have to figure out how they want to approach this. Aegis does get reclaimed, though, so that is an opening, but the Scotty is complete for Anti-Mage if he wants to go and buy.
Yeah, problem is all their lanes are pushed in, so they can't go for the smoke play because it's going to be easily scouted by EG, like you see these creeps approaching, so it's very tough. They might have like one more fight in them, possibly. If they lose it, they just lose the game.
Can try to make the play over on Nightfall. Again, very tanky. Meadow gets popped, plus the Exo. BKB as well coming out here from Kits, but has to be careful. It's very, very far forward. The rest of the team is not that close. As
All
they just
EG
walk away.
needs to do is walk away, wait for Exo and Meta to go down, and just go in and take that fight.
Yeah, look at Abed, his positioning here. Aid wandering by. Does spot to see the illusory orb, but the rest of EG over on the low ground. Jerax trying to get a little bit more information. The double damage is activated over on Arteezy. They have to be very, very careful. Abed looking for the opening, gets the silence up over onto Overlom. He's gonna fall. And on the back line, they get the kill onto Jerax. Follow up here with the Yules into the air, trying to buy some more time here. The Sand King, though, is not looking too healthy as they'll end up losing. Kits over here on the side. And this is looking like a very dead B-God to boot.
You're actually, that's a high key play for sure.
Dire's
When it's
middle
time to call it is time to call it, because I don't think they have any more business in this game.
top tower is under attack.
It's a rough one. Like, they popped 2 of their big ultis. They wanted to go for the fight, but there was no follow-up from Stanking. There was no Fiend's Grip to hold them in place. And yeah, now EG is going to take care of the rest of the barracks. That's going to be 2 sets. They can't finish the game because there's still a tier 2 tower on the bottom.
I mean, this is the EG that fans were hoping that they would see, right? Like, this was... First game was pretty surprising for a lot of people, but this time showing why they're one of those top teams here. Scourge just has nothing left, is not going to be able to do much other than just try to hit back a little bit. No one gave Abed the high five. Feels bad. Hate when that happens in my games.
Gotta give back that high five.
It's good for the soul, you know?
Yeah, good for morale.
And bottom tower here, just gonna get chipped away by Arteezy. Got the rest of the team smoked up around him, just in case they try to do anything a bit cheeky.
Radiant's bottom tower has
So
fallen.
E-Blade has picked up on Abed. So, feels like EG firmly in the driver's seat here. 22k net worth lead. And the Cuts just kind of scrambling to figure out, okay, we maybe have like one last hurrah in us. How
They will give it a shot. They have meta up. They are very close to Scotty, I believe. Yeah, Terrorblade has career already near the secret shop. Just needs to farm 100 gold.
Needs to be careful that his courier does not get sniped at the secret shop once it has the payload available. Yeah, he's definitely taking the safe route. Butterfly completed now, 4 AM. This is a very stacked anti-mage. Something like a 9, 0, and 8 AM.
Whenever you play against anti-mage, there's always like this pressure on you that if you are not doing well early on, and if he's getting the free farm, that he's gonna out-carry you. And I mean, this is exactly what happened in this game.
You're hoping and hunting right now. Jerax, scooching up immediately. Okay, Abed over onto the cliffside. Down the illusory orb, does get silenced. It's gonna be the exorcism coming out, and they can see Abed over here. They're gonna try to get enough damage over onto the puck, but he's able to just go, jaunt himself out of existence. No, but the follow-up, all right, they'll be able to take down Abed. That's a good opening right here, but look at Arteezy, look at him beelining right down to this area. He wants to go and hit some buildings. Roche is not up. Someone has to go deal with this anti-mage.
Oh, look at his illusion positioning. Already knows where someone's gonna TP. Forces Sanking to use the Sandstorm, forcing the glyph out of them. The Cut, they went straight into Roshan Pit, but unfortunately, they're a bit of a longer spawn, still 40 seconds until he's back in the pit.
Showing some fighting spirit at the very least coming out from the Cut. Still very, very difficult for them, but that was probably one of the better pickoffs that they could have gotten. The anti-mage is the big one, though. And there's just a gem on the ground, littering. Somebody go pick that up, please. Still not up yet, but we do have that Terrorblade illusion trying to keep tabs. Scythe of Ice is completed, though, now for Viper, so that's even more control, which will be difficult to deal with. And then Puck's going to be up in about 5 seconds, so.
And Puck has Eon Disc available once again. He got caught in the previous fight. There was like no real follow-up. There was no snowball save.
Ooh,
And look at Arteezy with the
you're
aggressive
poking. Yeah, there it is.
play.
There's the Sheep Stick coming in hot. Burrow Strike is nice, but not going to be able to quite do enough as Kits and Overloom have already fallen. Now Sand King running for his life. They have that Dream Coil over onto the back lines. Abed gets a kill on B-God. And they have the BKB already popped over onto Scourge, but they're going to end up losing Crit 8, the next one to fall. Multiple buybacks coming out from the Cut. As Abed plinks away over here at this one. Illusion, another silence getting thrown out. They have to be very careful. Very careful indeed with that Hex coming out. They know Overloam is one of those lockdowns. B-God will fall. Overloam next to go. Buyback coming up for Death Prophet.
Oh,
And the
TG
Skanky
dropping
Picture.
low.
They get the kill over onto AM though is the question, as he is silenced. But they need more lockdown. They need to be able to hold him into place, and they don't have it. Aeon just will get popped now over on Abed. So send back a couple more of these illusions.
They just needed one extra stun, one extra
Oh,
silence. Abed? Question mark?
Question mark?
There's also Gem on the ground right now, so they're going to be able to pick that up. 80 seconds without Abed. He does not have buyback. He's going to have it in 5 gold, so all good, while the rest of the EG are going to go inside the pit. I thought they might like smoke and try to contest it, but it's going to be a bit too late.
They smoked up. They're running over to the pit. Did they... How close is that? This is pretty important here. Oh, the stun up over onto Jerax. Okay, they'll take down the Weaver, but they already have the Aegis online now for Arteezy. So he's going to blink forward. Start chasing after Kits here. They'll throw out one of the illusions. You can see over the back line. Oh no, Kits is already just blown up. They'll get aid too. The buybacks now coming out from the puck. He wants to be a part of this, but Scourge is going to be able to teleport away with that BKB. This is going to be very difficult for them. They're not with some of these big team fight ultis that are very important. B-God also, this is not looking good. He's also downed. Just the Bane and the Terrorblade left, and I don't think they're going to be able to hold this by themselves, especially not with the way that Arteezy is just aggressively playing.
Yeah, this is going to be the last set of barracks. EG pretty dominant in game number 3. About to close it out. They got mega creeps, playing 5 versus 2, 6 versus 2, considering there's Aegis on Arteezy. And this gem seems to be pinged a lot, but no one wants to use it.
The damage is being dealt over to the tower. You just don't have enough bodies here. Plus that Hex coming out over onto Scourge. That's going to be a Walrus punch up at the air. Will just evaporate. Scourge is down. The buyback, though, not willing to give this up without a fight, but this Ancient is just crumbling. And they'll put off a little bit more damage over onto Tusk, but it doesn't matter. At that point, it was just GG